Hi. So, if you watch the markets very actively, you'll see that a lot of people are offering strategies to diversify globally. In this video, we'll talk about why it is important to diversify globally and how you can do it with Wright Research using our Wright Research Tactical US strategy. This is a two-part video. In the first part, I will explain to you what our strategy is all about, and in the next part, Siddharth will explain how you can invest into our strategy via West. So, before I start talking about the strategy itself, let's first understand why it is so important to diversify globally. What is the benefit that global diversification is bringing to you? So, firstly, the opportunities present outside India, in the US markets or in other developed markets are unique and something that we don't have here in India. The primary examples for that being, your tech pack, the FANG stocks that are there in the US. You don't have, parallels for that in India, and these are extremely attractive company, extremely innovative companies that are growing massively, and you get exposure to them only through US investing. Secondly, when you're investing only in India, then you have a country risk, right? If something specific to the country India happens, then your all your investments will be at risk. If something specific to emerging markets happens, then your all your investments will be at risk. So when you diversify it across global investments, then you get benefits of diversification globally. The third thing is that in situations when the global liquidity might be at risk, when there is volatility, like when the Fed tapers the rates, or when they start raising the rates, at that time emerging markets will be at risk. And investment strategy where you have exposure globally will be beneficial. If you look at the chart comparing the investment of the Nifty and the S&P 500, you will see that the S&P 500 has compounded at a much rapid pace since 1990 compared to the Indian market. So it is a good opportunity for you to invest and diversify your exposure. So in the investment strategy that Wright Research recommends, we recommend ETFs instead of single stocks in the global market. So why do we look at ETFs instead of global stocks? Is because globally or specifically in the US, the ETFs are a very liquid instrument. So unlike in India where you just have few ETFs that are liquid that follow the broader indices, in the US you have very liquid ETFs following a number of themes, right? So there is an ETF following each of the sectors, each of the factors, ETFs following bonds, golds, real estate, and even innovative sectors in ESG. So the ETF market out there is very liquid and very diverse. You even have global ETFs following emerging markets, European markets, European bonds, emerging bonds, etc., out there in the US market. And the US ETF market has been growing in leaps and bounds over the past few years, and it is a huge industry, a huge market, and a very liquid market. That's why it is very easy to invest into the US market through ETFs. So, talking about our specific strategy, in this strategy, what we are looking to do is we are tactically allocating to global ETFs. What that means is that we are rebalancing this particular strategy every month, and we are tactically finding out which are the particular themes where you want to invest globally, in a systematic fashion. So we have ETFs, like I said, following all major asset classes, all major sectors, major factors, even these new age themes like innovation, ESG, and specific sectors like gaming, semiconductors, etc. and etc. We we choose, we rebalance monthly. The idea is to choose the best strategy for best ETF for the next month, and we use some AI driven techniques to get a sense of how the market is going to look in the next month. And because we have exposure to multiple diverse set of asset classes, bonds, gold, real estate, equities, and even among equities so many different themes, this is a very diversified strategy that gives you a very diversified exposure in trending as well as volatile markets. Talking a little bit more about this particular strategy, we include only the liquid ETFs, right? So we have criteria to select only the ETFs that are easily tradable, and these ETFs are in the US market, and they also represent global asset classes like Europe and emerging markets. And like I said, different asset classes, be it equity, bond, gold, real estate, or anything else. The holding period for this is monthly. So we rebalance this particular portfolio on a monthly basis, but only when there is an extreme volatility event will we rebalance it within the month also. This is 100% ETF portfolio, and the asset allocation varies across time. So in good times, you'll see that this has exposure to a lot of equity ETFs, but when the times get riskier, we deallocate a little bit to in the favor of bond ETFs or maybe gold ETFs or other metals, right? Uh, we try to maintain a concentration of less than 12.5% in a single ETFs, and we include all the asset classes that we can in this particular portfolio. Talking about the performance of this particular strategy outperforms the S&P 500 in the long term. We have backtested it for more than 10 years, and this has given an CAGR of 17.5 when the S&P 500 has given a CAGR of 12.2. Our risk is lower than the S&P 500 because we are very well diversified, and our drawdowns are even lesser than S&P 500 because we have the mechanism to manage drawdown in this particular strategy. If you talk about the current allocation in this particular strategy, so right now we have allocation to some of the large cap ETFs, some small and mid cap ETFs, real estate in the US, consumer discretionary, and even some clean energy and semiconductor type sectors. And this allocation varies month on month as we rebalance our portfolio. Now, in the next part of the video, Siddharth will talk about the mechanics of how you can invest, how to operate the vested platform, and how you can very quickly, using your own brokerage account, invest into the allocations given by Wright Research very quickly. So I'll take it over to Siddharth, who will explain to you how you can invest into these strategies.
Well, a very, very good morning to all of you, and thank you guys for tuning in to take out some time and watch this video about the process of investing in Wright's West, right? Right before I begin this video, I would clearly like to mention that this is not going to be a presentation type of video which complicates the things, right? However, this would be more of a hands-on video where we'll be taking you through the journey of a user, talking about Wright Research, vested finance, the West that Wright Research has created for you guys, and the process of investing in it, right? Also, before I begin, I think this is the best time for us to talk about this particular offering of ours because as you can see, the Indian markets right now are a little choppy in nature. Hence, as investors, you would have realized the imperativeness of being able to diversify, right? So without any delays, let me just start and talk to you about the process and about this new offering that we have for you guys, right? So the first thing that we do is we actually log into the website, right? So just go to the URL tab of your browser, type in Wright research .vested.co.in. I'll be mentioning all the links when we upload this video below so that it's easy for you guys to just click and log into the website, right? So here we go. This is how the page would look, right? So this is how the first page that pops up in front of you would look. So as I mentioned, Wright Research has collaborated with Vested Finance, right? And we have done this so that we can provide retail investors a curated portfolio. And the agenda for doing the same is for retail investors to actually diversify their investments from a global perspective, right? However, when you start your investing journey through Vested, you can also invest in distinct tech innovative companies, right? The ones that you can see on your screen right now. Also, just before I begin the process of investing, I would like to take few minutes and talk to you about Wright Research itself, right? So in essence, Wright Research, we are an investment advisory and a research firm. We use a lot of quant research and machine learning to provide superior returns to our investors, right? Also to mention, we are 100% SEBI registered. And the products that we offer for retail investors are weaved around the notion of robo advisory. We were incepted in November 2019, and we have fairly been in the market, understood various market scenarios, and we always try to provide superior returns to all our investors with the help of the data points that we have and the strategies that we build. Right. So talking about Wright Research Invested or Wright Research's West, we have one particular West that we are offering right now, which is called the Wright Tactical US. As the name would suggest, this West is again is based on the tactical allocation strategy. Right. We'll talk about that in a bit. Also, before we just jump into the process, it is important for us as investors to understand why should we invest in the US market in the first place, right? So as you can see, there are three major points listed in front of you. However, we've also extensively talked about the same via social media handles, and I strongly urge you to go there and understand why to invest in the US markets first, and then start your investing journey. When you do it with Vested, the process is very, very simple, right? It's a 3-step process, and I'm going to take you through the whole process. The first step is actually to create an account with Vested. The second one is to fund your account and do a KYC approval. And once that is done, the next step rather is to actually invest in the West. In this case, Wright's West with a single click, right? Vested as a platform offers various features, right? And few of the features are very, very exciting and are totally out there for benefiting the investor itself, right? Whether it is commission free investing, whether it is no minimum balance, you can withdraw your funds at any time, or creating an account in minutes. So Vested has covered all of this for you, and the Vested team is also fantastic at customer support. So in case you have any queries about the tax returns, the filings, the other regulatory concerns, and just in case any technical hiccups with the process, the team would respond to you and solve all your queries. So let's begin, right? So this is the page that you see when you log into wrightresearch.vested.co.in, right? Post this, what you need to do is click on the Start Investing button. Once you've done that, something like this would open up in front of you. We've gone the simpler way, and we've signed up with an email. So I wouldn't sign up right now because we've already signed up. So I'll click on the option of already have an account login. I click on that. Post that, I log in with my email. So I have already keyed in my email. I'll put in the password. Perfect. Now, as soon as I do this, right, the next bit is to actually key in your 6-digit PIN. So when you create an account with Vested, you would need to rather have a 6-digit PIN to access your Vested account, right? So once you've done that and click on continue, this would directly take you to the dashboard, right? So this is how the dashboard would look. However, before I talk to you about the process again, it is important for me to say that we have already subscribed to Wright's West, right? Hence the dashboard looks a bit different, but this is more this is what it would look like even if you don't subscribe to it and just log in first, right? So as we've subscribed, you can see the portfolio performances over here. The ETFs that are in a portfolio, their performances have been shown here. There's a watch list as well, so you can add stocks to this. and post that, there is a portfolio overview here, right, where we give you a sector breakdown in the various sectors that we are investing through this West, right. Um, Once you've looked at all of this, what you need to do is click on the West itself, right, which is the Wright Tactical US. As soon as you do it, this is the page that opens up in front of you. You have two options in front of you, whether to buy or to sell, right. Also above the buy option, you can see your current position, right, which is your current value, the total return, the total invested amount, and the income yield, right. Also, Vested does a fantastic job in giving you a snapshot of the transaction history, right. So we bought this particular West on December 14. We invest about 55 US dollars in it, so it gives us a clear picture of that. It is important for you guys to also understand that subscribing to the West and investing in the West are two different things, right. So when you subscribe to the West, you can have a look at the allocation of the portfolio. However, only while you invest in the West can you can generate or start generating returns, right. So talking about the allocation bit, this is how we've allocated the portfolio. We have various ETFs that we've invested in. We've given you a quick overview about what the portfolio is, what the strategy is. So in this case, we have adapted to a tactical allocation strategy, right? And what that would mean is that once every time the portfolio gets rebalanced, we try to put or allocate the assets into various market regimes, and we do that by using a robust mean variance optimization, right. So that the investors can get the best of returns in the shortest period of time, right. There's another post out on the tactical strategy on our social media handles, and I urge you to go and look at that and understand the strategy first, right. So this particular page would also give you a snapshot of the performance of the West. This is in comparison to the S&P 500, right? So you can check out the performance. You can see if it's performed better than the index itself, and then make a wise decision to invest in the West or not, right? Also, just to cover a bit about the strategy itself, right? So this is a moderate risk asset allocation portfolio, and it is rebalanced every month. And we do this so that we can achieve optimum allocation based on various market regimes, right? Yep. So this is the process of investing. When you click on buy, say for example, I've done that here for you. You see the various orders that are to be placed. In this case, we have 14 ETFs. So this is the snapshot of the orders that would be placed. However, the investing amount can be keyed in as 50 for the start if you wish to. If you key less than 50, say for example 10, it would urge you to enter a value greater than or equal to 50, right? So in this case, if you put 50, you can easily preview the order and get invested in the ETF, right? Now when I talk about the sell option, right? So when I click on sell, it's the same sort of thing, right? So our current investment was about 55, which is now 54.81. Now for selling the amount, I can just key in the amount. It'll give me the weightage of shares, the weight that is provided to each ETF in this case, and I can preview the order and quickly sell and withdraw the funds as well, right? So the buying option is simple, the selling option is simple. The KYC option by Vested is again very, very simple, and it can be done within few minutes. Also to mention, this is a 6-month subscription provided by Vested, right? So in this case, as you can see, the subscription that we've actually taken into account is active until 14 June 2022. So you would see the same thing over here when you start your subscription or start your investing journey with Vested, right? So this is all about it. I hope you guys understood the simple process of logging into the website, going through the various stages, buying, selling, putting in funds, understanding the strategy, and having an overview, a look at your investments once you've invested in any of these vests, right? So thank you guys for taking out the time. And if you have any further queries, reach out to Wright Research. Feel free to reach out to Vested. We are very quick in responding to our queries, and we would love to help you and see you being invested in the global markets. Thank you.